Hi everyone, welcome to this week's drawing exercise. This is shape to form, and we're going to be focusing on drawing something that has a shiny surface. So you need to find something in your house. What I have here is a water bottle. So find a water bottle, a vase, wine bottles work really well. What are they called? Any kind of glass jar. There's a particular word I was looking for. But anyways, find something shiny. And it would be good if it had a somewhat clear surface to it. If it doesn't, that's okay. But if the material had some transparency, it might be a little bit more fun to draw. So, that is going to be the ideal surface to use for this week. So, what we are going to focus on in this exercise, shape to form, is we're going to expand off of that gesture drawing that we were looking at, and you're going to take that gesture drawing and take it a step further. And you're going to slow down a little bit. And the first thing that you're going to do is, to your best ability, try to map out the object in front of you. It shouldn't be a complicated object. So again, water bottle, tall glass, glass bottle, vase, something like that, something simple. And I want you to just take your pencil and let your hand kind of explore and try to capture the shape and the main contour lines of the object that you're drawing. This drawing does not in any way need to be perfect at all. What you are trying to do is just, to the best of your ability, sketch out and capture that main shape. Your shape is going to look a little different. And in fact, my image that I took here of the bottle is actually at a little bit different point of view than what I was looking at when I was drawing my bottle. But that's okay. The reason that we draw is so that things come out and are interpreted in an artistic way. If we just wanted a picture of a water bottle, then, well, here's my picture of a water bottle. But we are learning how to draw, and we are learning how to take three-dimensional things in the world and interpret them artistically through our hands and with all of the elements and principles of design on our paper. So you can see here the shape of the bottle. For me, the point of view that I was looking at, it was a little wider at the bottom actually, and probably most likely I've drawn this water bottle's bottom too wide. So I'm probably exaggerating that curve a little bit too much, but that's just the way the cookie crumbled for this exercise. Now this exercise, I want you to spend at least an hour on it, drawing your shape, and I am going to fast forward through this video just a little bit. So like I said, I want you to focus on drawing out as much of the contour of your shape, and then also filling in contours of some of those details as well, like the main shapes that are going to be on there. And my table's a little shaky there. Sorry, I didn't have anywhere else to attach my camera except to the table I was working on. So that's what I have to work with. Okay, so for this exercise, I do want you to get out your set of pencils. You're going to have a set of pencils that all have different darknesses. They're going to, I believe they go from H2 being on the lightest side all the way to 6B, and you can kind of see like the thicker and darker, like this is a really dark one right here, that's a 6B it looks like. So you're going to use your lighter and darker pencils to help you with value. And what our main goal here is today with this drawing is to get that contour, and the name of the assignment is shape to form, right? So we're going to take a contour shape and we're going to add volume and form to it through using value. And this doesn't have to be really pretty. Today is just taking that gesture drawing that we did and doing a little bit more detailed sketch. So if you've got wiggly, scribbly lines on your drawing, that's perfectly fine. And so here I'm just drawing the inside of the water bottle down here on the bottom where it kind of, every water bottle or glass has a bit of a concave in it. And mine is actually much too large, probably. I seem to want to exaggerate the bottom of this water bottle for whatever reason. So now what I'm doing is I'm just coming in and I'm outlining these kind of areas of value that are different. So if we look at the bottom here, oh, I see. I had my phone on portrait mode, so it kind of blurred out the bottom here. But that's okay. So what I'm doing now is I'm kind of mapping out these areas of value. So this is going to be a little bit lighter value. This is going to be a little darker value. And things are mapped out just slightly differently on my drawing here. But what you're looking for are these types of shapes. And here you can even see this white distorted shape right here. This is actually my piece of paper that I'm drawing on, reflecting off the table. So we're just looking and see here, there's this area. Let me see if I can zoom in on this a little bit. Oh, that's much better. Let's do that. We have this area of darkness here. There's also like little beads of water around here. So you're just kind of looking for the value and you're just going to mimic that value on your drawing as best you can in a sketch that you complete in about an hour, okay? So let me go over here. So I'm just going to zip through a little bit of this. So as you can see, I'm going ahead and I'm filling in the bottom. One important thing you can do is grab a paper towel or a napkin. This is going to be like one of your best friends in drawing. And actually, in addition to the drawing utensils like pens, pencils, markers, paper towels, napkins, blenders if you want to get fancy, and erasers are just as powerful a drawing tool as any of the pencils. It's just the pencils get all the glory. So what I want you to do is find those areas of value and then see where there are gradients of value. So you can see I'm sort of starting dark off on that contour edge and then working lighter. And here I'm just going to do a quick display for you of going from a dark to light value with a pencil. So you can practice doing this on scrap pieces of paper. It takes a little bit getting used to be able to go from dark to light. And that's what we're doing. We're practicing that in this drawing. So you can also come in with your smudging tool and you can smudge that as well. And it'll give you even a little bit of a smoother gradient if you like. So now remember, this can be messy and sketchy and interpretive because this is an artistic rendering of this water bottle. So I'm just going to go through this a little bit quickly here. I'm going through and just filling in these areas. I'm switching back and forth between a 6B and an HB pencil in this particular example. And you can see here, like I continue as I'm drawing, I'm continuing to map out parts of the water bottle that I don't really feel like maybe I'm capturing a little better shape of it, a little more accurate shape. Maybe I'm actually not doing myself any good, but that's okay. This is how your hand. So drawing is all about getting your eyes and your hands to coordinate together because your eyes are seeing something and you need your hands to record what it is that you're seeing. And getting those things to work together, it takes a lot of practice. So as I'm looking at this whole water bottle, it's a blue, it's kind of a medium to dark blue, and this all has value, right? The only things that really are the very lightest are these areas where the light is shining really strongly on these small areas of the water bottle. So really this whole thing should have value except for those small areas. And we'll look at that towards the end. So I'm just kind of move through this. So I'm going in, and what you can kind of do is start by adding a little bit of value everywhere in the object that you're drawing, and maybe give it a smudge or kind of give it another look. And you'll go in and darken the areas that you think need to be darker, go through again. So the way to think about a drawing like this is that it happens in passes, right? You're not going to just start in one area and 100% render that back photorealistic. And who wants that anyways? But it's more of a series of passes. So maybe this whole bottle gets one solid gray value applied to it, and then you go in and you do the darker areas, and then you realize maybe they need to be a little bit darker. So I'm kind of working myself up and down on the bottle and adding value and texture to areas as I see. Now, where the shiny surface comes in, and this is what I want to see in your drawings as well, is the shiny surfaces are a series of very dark value streaks and very light value streaks. So the way that I'm looking at the bottle right now is that I see some very dark streaks here and some very light streaks here. I probably don't have the same shape of paper in my perspective in looking at this, but so I'm adding those kind of dark streak areas. There's an area here that I'm looking at from my perspective that has some lines kind of working through where the water. If you're wanting to add some water to your vessel, if it's transparent, that's also a great addition to this drawing exercise. So I'm going to go through and I'm making more passes. I'm darkening those contour areas a little bit more, adding a little bit more value and gradient to those areas. I'm capturing this kind of indent on the water bottle. Now I'm just adding in some details that are on the bottle itself to kind of complete it. And then I'm going to go forward a little bit more. So again, this is just, it's iterations, and it's working through the drawing over and over again, adding a little bit more. Here I'm going to come in and add my light streaks on the surface, which is going to give that feeling that the rendering is shiny on the surface, which is part of the point of this project. So again, you really need to have a shiny surface. So what I want to see out of this assignment is I want to see lots of sketching out contours, adding lots of value, adding dark, oh, that shakiness is driving me nuts, adding dark areas where it's very dark in value, coming in and adding, using your eraser to add the lighter areas. And then I am just going to bring this over, and this is a picture of the final drawing that I did for this exercise. So there you go. Again, you know, an hour would be good for you to spend on this. And this drawing is not meant to be perfect. Again, we're capturing the shape, and we're adding form to it by adding value. Okay, that's the next skill set in our different activities that we're going to do throughout the term. Each build on one another to bring more skill set to your rendering and your drawing, and strengthening your visual vocabulary and giving you that artistic interpretation of whatever's in front of you. All right, well, let me know if you have any questions, of course, and good luck. I can't wait to see your drawings.